Oh man, how you doing? I can hear you laughing. You think I look funny, huh? Yeah, well, that's for you. Anyway, you're asking, well, what's a bubble? Well, a bubula is a Jewish bubba. I tell you, I get no respect. My wife never lets me out of the house, except when she sends me to the stores. And when I leave, my neighbor sees me, he calls the cops because he don't know what I look like. They have my ass arrested. I tell you, it's a bitch. Oh, man, that stuff that I ate. Anyway, I was watching the weather the other night, okay? And I'm listening to this guy, and you have no idea what these guys are talking about. Here's what he says. Maybe we can squeeze out another warm one before the front comes through. Is that what he's talking about? Well, here's a warm one for you. Oh yeah. Anyway, how you doing? I went to McDonald's the other day, and I tell you, as I'm thinking back, I got a Big Mac, and about 2 hours later, I'm, one of those. And I tell you, I have to really worry about this stuff. For 3 days, that's all I'm doing. Oh, man, I tell you. So I go back to McDonald's and I say to the girl behind the counter, I have a complaint. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. And she says to me, what's the problem? I said, this. And she says, what? That. And she says, are you sick? And I said, yeah, I'm sick. I ate your Big Mac 3 days ago, and I have not stopped, one of those. And anyway, since then, I'm walking around smelling like poop. She said, go out to the playground, she says, and wait, and I'll get the manager. And I said, okay, thank you. I go out, and I'm sitting on the kiddie sandbox, and what do you think happens? Oh, yeah. A cat comes along and tries to cover me up with sand. I tell you, I get no respect. The next day, I go to Burger King and I get a Whopper. 2 days later, what do you think happened? You guessed it. Oh, man. I go back to them and I say, hey. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I go back to them and I says, I've got a complaint. And she says, well, what's the problem? And what is it? She says, I ate your Whopper the other day. Okay? Then what happens then? She says to me, well, what would you like me to do about it? I says, make me stop, doing that. And she says, well, I said, I don't know if I can help you. I said, well, I'll tell you what. Wait a minute. Okay. I says, you gave it to me my way. I'm going to give it back to you my way. Here it comes. So take that and stick it. Anyway, every time I twitch or I make a funny squint in my face, that happens. And I tell you, it's a real pain in the ass. And she says, well, what are you going to do about it? I says, how you doing? I'm a regular kind of guy. When I get up in the morning, I have to go to the bathroom, be regular. At 4:50 a.m. every morning, I have to go poops. Well, I know what happens that if I don't go poops, I know what's going to happen. I says, I'm going to go down the road 3 hours later. I said, I'm going to be in my truck, and ain't no way in hell that I'm going to be able to stop and go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? I got to hold it. So I'm going to Gallup the other day, and what do you think happens? I get up in the morning, and I forget to go. So I'm in the truck driving down to Gallup, and you guessed it. Oh, man, I tell you, I'm having real trouble having confidence in one of, because if you make a mistake, you're going to end up doing it in your pants. So I hold it for 2.5 hours. Anyway, I get to the truck stop, and I'm telling you, it's just unbelievable, okay? It's just one of those things where you don't know what to do. Well, I get to the truck stop, and what do you think happens? I got to go really bad. I mean, I'm talking mega dump. Ooh, wait a minute. I go into the restroom, and I go do what I have to do. And I'm done. I'm getting ready to pull up my dress, and I hear the guy next to me, he starts burping. And then across the stall from me, there's 2 other stalls, and there's guys in there, and they start burping too. And in between the burping, I'm hearing, all this stuff, and I'm saying to myself, I said, what is it with these people? Are they eating lunch? I tell you, man, there's crazy people out there. I don't know what to tell you about all this. Anyway, it's a strange world out there. So with that, I'm going to tell you a story about when I went back to New York in January, okay? And we had to go into the city one day, okay? And when we went into the city, we had to take the subway to Midtown. Oh, excuse me. I go in, we get into the subway, and I sit down on one of the seats that they have there, and on the seat is a newspaper, and it's spread open. So I sit down on it. No big deal. We're driving, the train starts to go, it gets to the next stop, another guy gets on in my car, and he comes over to me after about maybe 15 or 20 seconds. He asks me, he says, "Hey," he says, "you finished reading that paper?" Well, I look at him for about 15 seconds, and I say, "I'm sorry, no." I stand up, turn the page, and I sit back down again. I tell you, there's strange people in New York. It's going to drive you crazy if you ever go there. Anyway, we go down to the next stop, and we get off. What happens? We get off, we're walking down the street, we're behind these two guys, a big tall guy and a little small guy. And they're walking, and we're listening, you know, people are talking. We hear these two guys. The big guy says to the small guy,